And streaming on crossroadstoday.com. A child sex crimes trial has wrapped up in Victoria County. The defendant found guilty on charges. We have the details on his sentencing. Across the nation in Killner County, Georgia, a deputy's heroic actions may be the reason why one woman is still alive today. Here, we recount on the rescue and what exactly the woman was saved from. Plus, the Biden administration is accused of overstepping its efforts to stop misinformation on social media platforms. The accusations have led to new restrictions on the government.
Very nice start. Looking at a live view from Cuero ISD weatherbook camera. A few clouds in the distance, otherwise seeing some breaks in the cloud cover here and there with partly cloudy skies so far. Rain likely today. Carry your umbrellas. I'm not kidding. It's going to be a pretty rainy next couple of days. We'll tell you about it coming up in your forecast.
A former baseball state champion is now being named Coach of the Year. That's coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Astrain.
I'm Trey Mining.
And today it's the 5th day of July 2023.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And the time is now 6:28 on your Wednesday morning. And today it's Hawaii Day and it's also Workaholics Day. Trey, is that us?
Could be. I've been to Hawaii.
I've been there too.
Before I went to Maui and also Oahu.
I've just been to Kona, but it was really awesome.
Oh, it's very nice. If you have a chance to go sometime. You can see the volcanoes, the beautiful beaches.
It's the best renting a car and just driving around the beautiful island scenery. I think that's the best part.
There you go.
You must rent a car in Hawaii.
Exactly. That's part of it. It's certainly a great place to go if you have the chance to go. And not feeling too much like Hawaii. Well, I guess it kind of is a little bit on the warm temperature side, that is. And looking like temperatures are pretty much in the 80s as they have been for the majority of the morning hours. Along the coast with 80 degrees in Port Lavaca, 84 degrees in Port O'Connor this morning. And still hanging on 78, 79 degrees currently in Victoria. And temperatures rising pretty rapidly throughout the day. As we work through the daytime heating of the day, we'll get the atmosphere going with a little bit less in the way of a high pressure ridge over our region and more of a tropical moisture stream coming off the Gulf of Mexico, which is the ingredients for pretty good amounts of rain today and pretty good coverages are in that as well. And starting off with the heat index value, that'd be the main feature I think today in addition to the rainfall chances. By the time we get to 10 o'clock, we're at 101 heat index value, 103 by the afternoon time, 3 o'clock or so, and then 104 to 105 maximum coming up by the 5 o'clock or so. Then temperatures begin to subside as we lose the daytime heating back in the 90s, coming up for about 8 o'clock in the evening, so keep that in mind. Rain chances today, yes, I said rain chances today, definitely. And tomorrow, even better rain chances as more of the moisture makes its way into the inland areas and more of the center of the moisture pool makes its way on through. How much we expect overall? We're dry, we certainly could use the rainfall. Looks like we'll get some pretty good amounts. We'll take a look at the amounts and the temperatures expected and the rain percentages coming up later on in the full forecast before we go. Carolina?
Thank you, Trey. A Victoria County grand jury has found a 41-year-old man guilty on charges of sex abuse involving children. It took the jury no longer than 2 hours to deliberate and to find him guilty on charges. The defendant, Joshua Clayton Kahanek, will now spend the next 30 years behind bars. A Victoria County grand jury indicted Kahanek last March for the incidents that date back to 2018 and 2019. The deliberation and sentencing phase of the trial wrapped up on Friday. A sheriff's deputy in Georgia is being hailed as a hero after saving a woman from a burning car Saturday. The Killner County Sheriff's Office released the body cam video showing Sergeant Ashley Taylor responding to a crash on Highway 36. He found a car in the dense brush off the road and on fire and jumped into action. The deputy smashed the driver's side window and pulled the woman out as flames erupted from the rear of the vehicle. The disoriented woman indicated there may be someone else in the car, and the deputy returned to the passenger side but found no other occupants. An SUV flipped over yesterday afternoon south of Hanselman Road on U.S. Highway 59 South. It appears the truck flipped over after one of its tires blew out. 4 people were in the car, including 2 children. They all went to the hospital as a precaution. Now to a major ruling in the battle over free speech online and a federal judge restricting the Biden administration's contacts with social media platforms. The judge sided with Republicans who claimed the administration overstepped in its efforts to stop the spread of misinformation.
This morning, a federal judge in Louisiana is limiting the Biden administration from contacting social media companies. The judge saying the administration likely violated the First Amendment when it pressured those companies to remove certain posts. The order comes as Republican attorneys general in 2 states sue the administration, claiming it pressured sites like Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube to remove messages containing purported misinformation about COVID-19, election security, and other issues.
On COVID misinformation, what's your message to platforms like Facebook?
They're killing people. I mean, look, the only pandemic we have is among the unvaccinated. And they're killing people.
Trump-appointed Judge Terry Doughty called the efforts by the Biden administration Orwellian, saying American citizens have the right to engage in free debate about significant issues affecting the country. The judge adding, it is quite telling that each example or category of suppressed speech was conservative in nature. The judge also issued a preliminary injunction barring top administration officials and several federal agencies, including the Justice Department, from having any contact with social media platforms for the purpose of encouraging the removal, deletion, suppression, or reduction of content containing protected free speech. The decision appears to take effect immediately, but can still be appealed.
The First Amendment does not prevent the government from trying to persuade people to do something. And the Supreme Court has explicitly held over and over and over again that the government has a constitutional right to attempt to persuade you to behave in a particular way. But the power is still left with the social media platforms.
Lionel Moise, ABC News, New York.
No response yet from the White House or Justice Department. The judge is allowing the government to still communicate with tech companies about illegal activity and national security threats. The undisputed king of hot dog eating has won yet another mustard yellow belt. Joey Chestnut won his 16th mustard yellow belt at this year's Nathan's Famous International Hot Dog Eating Championship on ESPN. The professional eater downed a total of 62 hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes, beating his closest competitor by more than 12 dogs. Chestnut remains the world record holder, having downed 76 hot dogs and buns at the 2021 competition. Remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. The time is now 6:35 on your Wednesday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. We take a look at a VFW 4th of July celebration.
Following days of deadly mass shootings, President Biden spent part of his 4th of July holiday calling for tougher gun laws. I'm ABC's Justin Finch in Washington with what he's demanding of Congress.
Still, the heat's going to be an issue today and tomorrow, keeping the heat index values well in the triple digits by the time we get to the afternoon. Once again, the same thing goes for your day on Thursday. You see right there. Even though rain chances are pretty good in coverages coming up for Thursday and today, we're still on the hot side. What are those rain chances? We'll take a look coming up. Good morning. Current time is 6:38. Let's take a look at the weather map one more time. I showed it earlier, and we'll show it again and tell you how the rain is expected to impact our region here. High pressure over Florida, you see right here, and over the southwestern United States. Tropical pressure to the north, reaching down in the state of Texas. And of course, the moisture will go around the high pressure cell to the south and make its way right in the middle between the two high pressure cells. This is the path of least resistance you see right here. Put this map into motion. Here comes the moisture off the Gulf of Mexico, giving us good rain chances for your day Wednesday afternoon today, and again for your day on Thursday, primarily in the morning, afternoon, and evening hours, not so much in the overnight. But this high pressure cell will begin to build, as you see, slowly but surely back to the east by the time we get to Friday into the weekend, cutting off the rainfall, bringing back the wall-to-wall sunshine, and raising the temperatures again near 100 degrees for the daytime highs coming up for the weekend and next week. So we're glad to get the little window of rain that we're going to get today and tomorrow. We certainly do need that. Matter of fact, we need more than that. So we're happy with so far we can get. We'll look at the percentages coming up later in the full forecast. Before we go, Carolina.
Thank you, Trey. Players and coaches strive for winning the ultimate prize of a state title. An area coach has done it in multiple sports. Sports Director Gino Perez has more.
At Crossroads, the Texas High School Coaches Association is honoring an area coach with the Baseball Regional Head Coach of the Year Award. The winner is from Region 5 in Class 2A, and it's none other than Shiner's own Daniel Bedeker. The football and baseball coach has been a force to be reckoned with as a ball player and coach as well. He won a state baseball title in 1992 and has led the Comanches to the state tournament 3 years in a row and the state title game twice in a row. Unfortunately, Shiner would lose both times. The Comanches went 30-5 and undefeated in district play. Bedeker is also known for leading the Shiner Comanches to back-to-back state titles in football in 2020 and 2021. Houston Astros star Jose Altuve was scratched against the Colorado Rockies yesterday. It is being reported that the second baseman injured himself during pregame batting practice. The Astros organization will send updates, and the Astros went on to win 4-1. They will play again today at 1:10. That's your 25 Sports Now.
All right, thank you, Gino. We want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and on your cell phone, just search Crossroads Today Plus. New urgent calls this morning from President Biden for tougher gun laws. The cities nationwide from Fort Worth to the nation's capital come to grips after a series of deadly mass shootings surrounding the 4th of July holiday.
From Fort Worth to Baltimore, frustration and grief after gunfire ripped through communities and claimed lives.
This country needs to re-examine its conscience and find out how to get guns out of dangerous people's hands.
In Philadelphia, authorities say a gunman wearing a ski mask and bulletproof vest opened fire, killing 5 people and injuring 2 boys ages 2 and 13. The gunman surrendering to responding Philadelphia police officers. And in Fort Worth, Texas.
Just before July 4th, we had a shooting. It appears that we had multiple victims that were shot.
Police are investigating after 3 people were killed and 8 others hurt in a shooting at a neighborhood festival. In Wichita, Kansas, at least 7 people suffered gunshot wounds and 2 others were trampled at a mass shooting at a nightclub. Investigators also continue a search for answers in Baltimore, where multiple gunmen are believed to have opened fire at a block party. 28 shot, at least 2 killed. Speaking to a group of educators on the 4th of July, President Joe Biden urged congressional Republicans to pass gun safety reform to protect the nation's schools and communities.
Banning assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, extensive background checks, they're part of the answer. They'll make a big difference.
In a statement, the president doubled down on his calls for tougher gun laws and recognized Illinois' ban on assault weapons and high-capacity magazines after 10 people were killed in a mass shooting at a 4th of July parade in the Chicago suburb of Highland Park last year. In response, Congress passed bipartisan gun legislation, including $750 million to help states remove firearms from people deemed a personal or public danger and strengthen background checks for gun buyers younger than 21. And the Gun Violence Archive, which tracks U.S. mass shootings involving at least 4 victims, already counting more than 340 mass shootings. More shootings than days so far this year. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
The 5th annual VFW July 4th celebration kicked off yesterday, hosting veterans and their families. The event celebrated the birthday of the U.S. and honored veterans who fought for the nation. Festivities included food, drinks, face painting, a petting zoo, and more. The event was free to more than 500 veterans, family, and friends, and it was paid for by the Disabled American Veterans, the VFW, and other organizations.
We want to recognize the veterans, because a lot of times they were not recognized when they came back from war. And we want to let them know that what they did by fighting for us, for our freedom, is appreciated.
The first 4 events over the last several years were held at Patriot Park, but heat-related illnesses forced leaders to move the event indoors. Patriot Park was also home to 4th of July celebrations yesterday. The community came out to grill, jet ski, and fish with friends and family to celebrate the holiday. The Castillo family arrived at Saxett Lake Park before most holiday celebrators because the 4th of July is not just a national holiday, it also marks an important family event.
Oh, it means everything. You know, we really don't get together. Sometimes we see each other here and off and on. But my mom, her sisters, you know, my cousins, everybody that, you know, we work all the time, so we're a little bit older. So we're able to over here to celebrate the life of my grandpa and celebrate the 4th of July and just bask in what it is to be a huge family like this.
While the nation celebrated our independence, Castillo and his family also celebrated their grandpa's 68th birthday with 30 family members. A happy heavenly birthday to Rodolfo Pena Jr. The time is now 6:45 on your Wednesday morning. Still to come, researchers suggest skipping a usual part of the bedtime routine could increase your risk of cardiovascular disease. Okay, time to celebrate some birthdays. Happy birthday to Vance. Mom and Dad and all your siblings wish you a happy 1st birthday.
And happy birthday to Avery. Can't believe you're already 5. Love you so much from Momo and Pookie, Momo Julie and Popo Ray, also from Uncle Bob and Momo and Popo Perez.
And happy 8th birthday to Adriana. Enjoy your big day. And a dominant athlete is celebrating a birthday today. Baseball all-star Shohei Ohtani turns 29.
All right, and singer and songwriter Huey Lewis is 73. Happy birthday. He's hip to be square, y'all. He's also known the power of love.
Maybe I'll watch American Psycho today.
There you go. To see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, come to crossroadsday.com. Click on More Under Home. You'll see the KVU. Submit your birthday.
All right, Trey, the time is now 6:46 on your Wednesday morning. Happy birthday. If you're celebrating one today or sliding on down, we'll be right back.
Good morning. It's 10 minutes away from the 7 a.m. hour. Look at the heat index value by the time we get to 10 o'clock. 101 here in Victoria, 101 and 102 along the majority of the coastal counties as well, and in the inland areas as well as the areas along 59 where we are here in Victoria. By 1 o'clock, 103 heat index value, not in the dangerous category. It's getting close to it, but not quite there, so we don't have an advisory over the region. But still, it's going to remain hot, whether advisory or not. So please take heed of that, drink plenty of water, find some shade, and reduce your outdoor activities if you can to about 50 minutes or so, and take about a 15-minute break in between. A few rain showers starting off this morning, becoming more numerous in the afternoon with the daytime heat. About 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Fairly good coverage around here. We'll call it about 50%, so we'll call it 93 degrees for your daytime high today. Scattered thunderstorms, mainly in the afternoon. Overnight lows will be in the mid-70s. A few rain showers primarily along the coast. Better chances for your day tomorrow, 60%. 92 degrees. It's catching up with some much needed rainfall around here. We sure could use that. And the rain's going to cut off by Friday, bringing back the hot conditions by the weekend in the next week.
Researchers suggest skipping a usual part of the bedtime routine could increase your risk of cardiovascular disease. Scientists from a university hospital in Japan were behind the study released last week in the journal Nature Scientific Reports. They analyzed the oral hygiene habits of over 1,600 hospital patients who were at least 20 years old. The researchers say they found that only brushing in the morning after waking up was not enough to maintain good health, and that teeth brushing at night is important for lowering cardiovascular disease. They also note that not brushing teeth before bed could increase the risk of periodontal disease and tooth decay, and dental diseases have been consistently associated with an increased risk of heart disease. That leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code there on your screen to take part. We want to know, do you brush your teeth before bed? Okay, let's see. 78% of you say yes, you do. Great work. And 22% of you say no. You got to work on it. So come to crosswordstoday.com/vote to take part in our viewer poll. Still to come on Sunrise News to Know Before You Go. Authorities now offering a reward in the case of a missing Michigan toddler. A child was shot and killed on Tuesday in Florida amid 4th of July celebrations. Authorities say an altercation between two groups led to gunfire at the Courtney Campbell Causeway around 9 p.m. They say a 7-year-old was shot in the head. The child was rushed to the hospital and later pronounced dead. Another victim was shot in the hand and was also sent to the hospital. His injuries are not life-threatening. No arrests have been made. An investigation is underway. Authorities are now offering a reward in the case of a missing Michigan toddler. Tuesday, the FBI and Lansing police announced a $25,000 reward in the case of 2-year-old Winter Cole Smith. The reward will go to the person that provides them information that will help them find the toddler. The FBI also released a missing person poster with the latest information on the child. Authorities searching for Winter since they say her mother's ex-boyfriend Rochelle Trice kidnapped her on Sunday. They have Trice in custody but still do not know the whereabouts of Winter. Police say they are following up on several leads they have received from the public. They warn anyone who knows where the child is or has her will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. This notice is for the jury summoned on Thursday, July 6th. The Victoria County Justice of the Peace 1 Court, you're asked to not appear if you were summoned for that 9 a.m. session. That session at 9 a.m. is canceled and will not be rescheduled. Multiple train cars derailed in Wisconsin Tuesday. A Canadian Pacific representative says 29 cars carrying wheat, seed, and bentonite clay went off the railroad tracks west of Reeseville. No injuries are reported and no hazardous material was spilled. The Dodge County Sheriff says there was a lot of property damage, but stressed the incident could be much worse. Authorities are investigating what caused the derailment. Today at noon, the VISD Board of Trustees will hold a special meeting to discuss and take possible action to accept the resignation of a school board member. They will also discuss possible action related to filling the vacancy on the school board. The meeting will take place in the administration building located at 102 Profit Drive. The Victoria County Public Health Department is encouraging you to beat the rush if you have a student who needs a required immunization before the start of school. Call 361-578-6281, choose option 3 to schedule an appointment. You can see a full list of vaccine requirements for the upcoming school year at crossroadstoday.com. And we want to invite you to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and on your cell phone. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. Let's take another look at our viewer poll. Today we had a question about cardiovascular disease being at more risk for that if you don't brush your teeth at night. So we want to know, do you? Okay, let's take a look. 79% of you say you do, and 21% of you say you don't. So you may want to set a reminder. Let's go ahead and get a look at our forecast with First Warn Storm Team Meteorologist Trey Reining. Trey, I hear rain is in store for us.
Exactly, yes. Not only today, but tomorrow as well. Even with the rain and the cloud cover, we expect highs in the 90s today with heat index value approaching exceeding 100 by the afternoon. So please be careful out there if you have to do any work on the outside. Limit your exposure to the heat. Cloudy skies in the morning time, partly cloudy skies by the afternoon. Scattered rain showers becoming more numerous from the daytime heat by about 2 o'clock or so in the afternoon. Same scenario goes for your day tomorrow. Perhaps a little bit more of the way of coverage is tomorrow as more of the deeper moisture moves in over the Gulf of Mexico at that time. 93 degrees today. Mostly cloudy skies, scattered thunderstorms. Once again, in the afternoon and the evening time will be the most likely this time to see those. Overnight lows will be 76 degrees, scattered rain showers, probably starting along the coast. And tomorrow, pretty good shot at rain showers and thunderstorms again for your Thursday, 60% chances. Highs in the low 90s. The heat index values approaching 100 degrees or so by the afternoon still. And after we get through the rainy conditions Wednesday and Thursday, maybe a little bit on Friday, high pressure moves back in, cuts off the rain, and keeps us hot for the weekend in the next week with highs approaching 100 degrees by Monday and Tuesday. Carolina?
All right, Trey, thank you so much, and thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful day. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today, and join James, Don, Matt, Karina, and Gina to 25 News now at 5, 6, and 10.